When I'm being insulted, instead of calling out their bullshit, I will smile. I will laugh at it. When I'm when a dirty remark is being made at my personality, instead of frowning and asking them to retrace their ways or apologize to me, I'll keep quiet. I will smile at it. Because the sister said I was a nobody, and she repeated those words, that I started to believe that I was a nobody. And to prove that she was wrong to her, I told myself that I wasn't going to depend on the brother. I told myself that yes, I got the list of what the family had, but I'm not going to make that my identity. I'm going to change the story. I'm going to change everything that made them look down on him and by extension on me. I said to myself that I was going to change things. I meant it. I meant it because the insults I received from the family members were too much. The look down was too much. Nobody regarded me. Nobody had the slightest iota of respect for me, all because I was foolish enough to get married at the age of 21 with nothing to my name, or because I agreed to marry into their family, or because I agreed to marry their brother. I lost my respect. Nobody had any form of regard or respect for me. And then I said to myself, I am going to I'm going to buy back my respect and honor from them. When we got back to Abuja in January, and then he told me the truth about his finances, and that everything I used to believe and everything he told me were all lies. In his works, he said he doesn't want to lose me to the better man outside there. So he had to lie to get me. He had to lie to earn what he's not earning. He had to lie to be who he is not. He had to lie even down to his house where he was living, all to get me. Because if he had told me the truth, I wouldn't have married him. If he has told me that these were his strengths, I wouldn't have agreed to marry him. And in that moment, I looked up to him and said, why me? Why me? And all he could say was he didn't want to lead me to the better person outside there. And that statement did not make sense to me. It felt like a betrayal. I felt like I was betrayed. And not just a betrayal, I felt like my entire life has been set into another direction. And of a truth, he redirected my life. He redirected my life to the place I never wanted to be, because that redirection meant I was to embrace struggle. Imagine me struggling to provide and to change the financial strength of a man. Imagine me trying to make his family not see him as a failure, as a mistake that they already see him as. Imagine me trying to change a full adult in his middle 30s. Imagine me trying to give him what his family could not give him. Imagine me trying to give him the home training the mother could not give him. Imagine me trying to make him ambitious. Imagine me trying to make a full grown man become ambitious, have a vision, have a direction, have a plan. That messed with my entire system. That messed with my entire life. And before I could know it, I was burnt out. Trying to motivate an unmotivated man messed with my mental health, because I knew that This environment he brought me in after marriage is not the same environment I'm going to raise a child in. I told him, look, bro, the place you brought me in is not the place you told me you're living. What are we doing here? This is when we came home after traditional marriage to Abuja. I told him when I visited you for the first, second, and third time in Abuja, this is not the place you told me you'll be bringing me in after marriage. You told me where you were living in Uye was demolished, and being someone who travels a lot with the then former minister, that you just had to get a place to put your things in while the place is being put in order. And this is like 6 months after. Why are you bringing me into this very place after marriage? Because that place, to describe the place, I will call it was a dirty place to say. Not fit for my person, not fit to raise a child. Even not fit for him as well to live in. I asked him this question and he was just dancing and beating around the corner. When it dawned on me that this is the reality, after he said, look, stop pressuring me into living this place. This is my house. This is where I've been living all along. It is part of the lies I told you. I still knew that I'm in and I can't go back to my father's house. Even though I wanted to, the door won't be opened for me. I started asking myself, what do I do to make sure that I don't bring a child into this environment? I told him, look, when I got pregnant, I told him, look, I stayed, but my child will not be raised in this environment. You ought to do something. You ought to change this accommodation. That was when he felt pressured and started looking for a way to get me out of that environment. And he did. He did after after a year. After a year in that place, he got another accommodation and we left. The place was decent. The place was very, very decent. And knowing that this man is not capable to feed me alone, let alone bearing the responsibility of being a father. I started hustling. I started hustling and enter streets. I started hustling, I started networking. That was when I got introduced to GNLD. I started selling GNLD products. When I'm making profits, I will use it for the house. I will use it to feed myself. I will use it to bring something back home. From networking and selling JNAD products, I met a man who introduced me into fish farming. That was my first journey into entrepreneurship. The man was so kind, so patient, and so understanding that he was able to carry me along. He introduced me and taught me the basic aspect of fish farming, and that was my first introduction into farming. And that gave me the hope that yes, I am going to actually change the story. I'm going to I'm going to rewrite my mistake, and somehow that belief became a reality. I'm becoming too emotional with this story, and I'll be taking a break to continue tomorrow. If you have come this far, if you have listened, if you have come this far with me, please, I want you to take one lesson from what I have shared so far. It's okay to make mistake, but when you realize that it is a mistake, please walk away. Do not stay to correct that mistake. Because you cannot change a full grown man. You cannot make a man who lacks ambition have ambition. You cannot make an unmotivated man pick up motivation. You cannot change family history. What his mother could not do, you cannot do it as a young girl. The training his mother could not give him, you cannot give it to him. Save your strength, save your energy, leave that marriage, leave that family alone, and go and rebuild your life. Go and put your life together. Go back to your father's house, even though they will not open the door for you. Force it open. It is your home. It is a place you call home. It is where you grew up in. Nobody should tell you if you should be let in or not. Force the door open. Do not stay where you were lied to. Do not stay and try to correct a mistake you did not create or you did not make. This is my humble advice to every mother out there, to every young lady out there. It is not your mistake to correct. Let that family rebuild what they broke. Let them remold what they did not do from childhood. It is not your burden to carry. Never you try to carry another family's burden, because it will end up changing the trajectory of your life. It will end up changing the direction you want to go. It is a disservice to yourself. Do not do it.